Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When I was trying to get this podcast off the ground, I had a lot of questions. How do I record an episode? How do I get my show into all the apps people like to listen? How do I make money from my podcast? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. So if you got an extraordinary thought for the ordinary mind that you want everyone else to hear, then go to Anchor.
Good morning and welcome to Extraordinary Thoughts for the Ordinary Mind. I'm your host, Demetrius Thigpen, bringing you 5 to 10 minutes of motivation to jumpstart your day. So today, I just want to clear a lot of things, get a lot of stuff off my chest. One thing is for certain that episode 1 and episode 2, if you have followed me on social media and you have heard my stories or you have seen me in person, you know that 1 and 2 doesn't sound like me. So, and what I mean that it doesn't sound like me is that when I started this podcast, I didn't have an idea of what I was supposed to do. Now I can get on camera and come alive. I can get in front of a crowd and I can come alive. But recording myself and then playing it back, it was new to me. So what I did was that I went on different podcasts and I listened to them and I listened to how they delivered it. And I ended up trying to copy that. But the thing is that when you try to copy something, eventually you lose who you are. So for those who have been following me and joined me on this podcast and know who I am, I want to apologize because I haven't brought the real me. I haven't given you the exact same passion that I brought through my stories. I haven't given you the same excitement that I would bring to you when I'm in person. So with that being said, welcome to episode 3, The Real Me. So lately, I've been seeing a lot of people talk about growth. And for those who don't know what growth is, growth is that successful accomplishment that you've been trying to make. Growth is that change within yourself. Growth is you becoming a better you. And I love seeing it. I love seeing people become a better them. I love seeing people become successful. I love it. But one person addressed something that really stuck with me today. And what they talked about was inner peace. See, for those who don't know what inner peace is, that's that foundation within you. And when I mean that foundation within you, that's that solidness that I'm talking about. See, a lot of things could be going on around you, but when you got your inner peace together, when you whole and happy within you, nothing bothers you. And I remember why it hit me so hard is that I remember there was a time when my peace was disrupted. And I remember when there was a time where I just felt like I wasn't me. A while back, I was before I got promoted to sergeant, and for those who don't know, I'm a sergeant in the United States Marine Corps. I'm probably one of the best that's ever did it. But there was a time where I didn't feel like that. Now I'm still giving everybody the exact same performance, but I remember I was struggling with promotion at one time. I was struggling with retention at one time. And I had kids, I had a wife, I had all these responsibilities. And every single day I would go out and I would hook and jab and I would give everybody everything that I had. I would give 100% no matter what the situation was. I would be up before the sun came up and I would go home before the sun came down. But the problem is that although everybody saw how good I wasn't happy because I felt like no matter what I did, it was never going to be good enough. And I remember there was a time where I would wake up in the middle of the night and I would go in the bathroom and I would just turn the shower on. And I ain't getting the shower. I would just sit there and I would just pray. And I would pray so hard that I would just start crying. And the next thing you know, I would just be crying on the side of the shower. And the reason why I would have the shower on is because I didn't want my wife in the room to hear me crying because I had so much going on. And I felt like that no matter what I did, my time wouldn't come. And no matter what I did, I was never going to be happy. And I remember that because I know there's people that this is happening too. I know there's somebody right now that's going to work right now and they saying to themselves that, damn, when is my moment going to come? I know somebody right now, lights just got shut off or they ain't got food on the table to eat and they wondering when their moment going to come. I know that feeling. So I tell you, when you ain't got inner peace, you are bound to crumble. No matter how successful you are, no matter how good you are, if your mind ain't right, if your spirit ain't right, you are bound to crumble. So as I sat there and I would pray and I would hope for the best and I would wish for the best and I would try to talk to people. And I remember I would vent to my friends and they would try to give me all the advice. But the thing is when your peace ain't right, when you ain't got inner peace within you, there's no matter how many right answers you hear. Somebody can tell you the exact same blueprint. They can tell you the exact same plan over and over and over. And no matter what, you're not going to hear it. Because it's not healing you. It's not fixing what's inside of you. And I remember one friend, he told me, he said, see, Meech, you're not happy with yourself. And I looked at him crazy because I was like, I'm okay. Look at all the accomplishments I'm doing. Look at everything that I have. What you mean I ain't okay? I ain't happy with me. Of course I'm happy with me. I'm doing better than a lot of people. And he said, nah, man, you're not happy within you. And until you become happy within you, you will never be happy with anything. See, the thing is that I was so worried about getting promoted. I was so worried about re-enlisting in the Marine Corps and wondering if I was going to get accepted or denied. I remember I was sitting in somebody else's re-enlistment ceremony, and the only thing that I could think about was when it was going to be my turn. And the thing about inner peace is that if you don't have it, it'll eventually turn you into a bitter soul. I remember I would be sitting in somebody else's promotion ceremony and I couldn't even take it serious. I couldn't even go up to them and shake their hand because I was thinking to myself that I know I should be you. I know I'm a better person than you. I'm a better Marine than you are. Why isn't it not happening to me? When is my moment going to come? And just like everything, yes, eventually I did get promoted. Eventually I did re-enlist in the Marine Corps. But because I never found peace, that soul of mine started to become bitter. And I would look at everybody and I'd be like, I'm better than you. Oh, I do way more than you. But the one person that I was trying to prove that to was myself because I wasn't happy with myself. And it took 2 more years after that situation happened before I actually even found my peace. See, the thing is that no matter how good you are, if you're not whole within you, you are going to crumble. If you're not whole within you, you're never going to be happy. So I remember finally finding my own peace and I just had to sit back, and I sat back in the car and I was smoking a cigarette and I just started crying. And for those who don't know, I'm really emotional. Everything that I do, I wear it on my sleeve. If I'm mad, I'm mad. If I'm happy, I'm happy. And if I'm upset, it takes a toll on me because I'm trying to keep myself together and keep up appearance around everybody. And I remember that day I was sitting in the car and nobody else was around and I just started crying because I had finally realized what was bothering me. I had finally found the disturbance that was bothering my peace. See, the thing is that I needed to be happy with me. I can't worry about how everybody else see me. I can't worry about what everybody thinks of what I do. If I'm not happy within me, I'm not going to be happy about it. So once I had found my peace, I had to start doing things to protect my peace. So once I found my peace, I had to protect it at all costs because I never wanted to feel that way again. So what I had to do is I had lined up everything that caused some form of negativity in my world, and I started to find closure with it. Friends that I felt like wasn't doing any good for me, I ended up cutting them off. And I'm the type of person that if I stop dealing with you, I'm not going to give you an explanation of why I'm not dealing with you no more. Just understand that I just can't deal with you no more. I don't want to hear your who, what, where, when, why. I don't want your 5 W's of why we should still be friends. I have come to a realization that me and you are not around no more. And one thing that I have always learned is that I put me before anything else. Once you find your peace, you need to put yourself before anything else. See, the thing about me, I'm not afraid to lose a friend. I'm not afraid to lose somebody at the expense that I end up losing myself. I don't understand how anybody could do that. You ready to change who you are? You ready to look unfamiliar in the mirror at the expense for somebody else? No. And when I did that, a lot of people started to look at me different. And although these people, they would look at me different, they would say things like, oh, you've changed, or you act different, or you've been doing this a little bit different. That didn't bother me no more. Because once you start to make peace with yourself, nothing will bother you. See, I remember I had to tell myself, you need to just mind your own business. And for those who don't understand what I'm saying, I'm not just saying like I ignore my problems or anything of that nature. But when I say mind your own business, I mean, you really just got to mind your own business. A lot of things that we want to be in control of, we're not in control. So we try to force our way into it. And what we do is when we force our way into something, we end up making ourselves unhappy. So when I say mind your own business, I need you to really mind your own business. And what that means is worry about yourself. So when somebody would say they didn't like me, I would just tell myself to mind my own business. See, I like me. I can't control how somebody else feel about me. If somebody had an opinion about what I did or anything of that nature, that's none of my business what you think. See, I thought it was good, and that's all that matters. If I had a situation that was bothering me, I would just tell myself to mind my own business. I can't control how that situation turns out. I've had my chance. I gave it 100%. Now it's just up to whatever's going to happen. And for you praying type, what I'm trying to tell you is that if you're going to pray about it, it's none of your business anymore. That's God's business. So what I need us to understand is that without peace within, you will never be able to make any outward accomplishment. You will never be happy with anything you do. And eventually you're going to be a bitter person. So what I need you to do right now is find your peace. If you're in a relationship right now and you feel like you was given 50-50, but now it's 60-40 and that 60-40 done turned to 70-30, I need you to cut that person off because that person doesn't have your best interests at heart. Find your peace. If you're dealing with friends and all they do is criticize you, or all they do is take from you, they don't give to you, I need you to find your peace because they ain't there for you. For the person that's going to the job right now and feels like that no matter what they do, they never going to be successful, I need you to find your own peace. And for the Marine that's waiting for promotion and the score is closed out, I need you to find your peace because that's out of your hands. For the Marine that's waiting to re-enlist in the United States Marine Corps, I need you to understand that that is out of your hands. That's up at headquarters right now. I need you to find your peace and make the best situation happen for yourself. Because no matter what we do, if we're not happy within, we're never going to be happy on the outside. And eventually it will show. So I want you to stay humble. I want you to stay motivated. I want you to stay successful. And I want you to find your peace. And just like that, I just gave you an extraordinary thought for the ordinary mind. Follow me on Instagram at OMG It's Meech. Once again, that's OMG It's Meech. Meech is spelled MEECH. Stay hungry. Stay motivated. Stay successful. I'm out.